This conference will now be recorded. This
Okay.
conference will now be recorded.
So, guys, before starting into the today's session, any doubts till now? Okay. So, I mean, till now, what we have discussed, I mean, in the practical session, so we have created a PCB, we have created a data store, we have created adapters. I mean, two kinds of adapters we have done, and then we also created a SAML configuration. So we tested the IDP initiated SSO, right? And then we also done all, I mean, SAML selectors as well as the, I mean, like two kind of universal selectors also, which can be used for SAML and OAuth. Okay. So, and then we also seen the policies, right? So today, what we are going to do, so we are going to start with the, I mean, what will be the application side configuration actually? Okay. So till now, like we have seen ping federate side configuration, right? And also we have seen only the single sign-on. We didn't yet seen the single logout, right? So today we are going to see the single logout and then application side configuration. Okay. So purely we are going to do some kind of a real-time integration with the Salesforce actually. Okay, Salesforce application. So how the single sign-on has been enabled for Salesforce actually. I mean, till now we have seen some kind of a dummy applications, right? Like doing the testing process in the by using the IDP initiated SSO only. Okay, so now today we are going to directly, I mean, going to enable a single con application like for our domain, and then we are going to connect the ping ferret to that particular application. Okay, so let's get started today. Okay, so let me share my screen. So hope can you able to see my screen, right, guys? Okay, I think my screen is visible. Okay, so we'll go for login into our ping federate console. Okay, so I logged into the ping federate console. Okay, so now open another tab. Okay, type Salesforce login. Okay, Salesforce login. Type Salesforce login. Okay, so that will be the first link you can able to click on it. Okay, open link in a new tab. Okay, so now here it will throw the login page of the Salesforce. So here we didn't yet created an account, right? So now what we are going to do, try for free. We are going to create a free account for 30 days. So we can able to create a free account for 30 days. Try for free. Okay, so once you click on the Salesforce, okay, try for free. Okay, so I will paste you this link in the chat actually. Okay, so this is a Salesforce. Oh, sorry. Okay, now we are going to create an account actually. Okay, so like give our name. Okay, and then some name title. Okay, email. So the email which you have created for a Zogo account, right? Give that email. Okay, okay, and then give the phone number. Okay, so country will be, can give some country name. Okay, sorry, company name. So give the company name. Okay, and then employees. Okay, language will be English. Okay, so now let me stop my screen share. Okay, so once you gave the everything, you can able to create an account. Okay, so once you click on, I mean, once you completed or give all the information, click on start my free trial. Okay, let me share my screen again. So here it will create an account. Okay, so once it is creating an account, it will log in back to the admin console actually. So this is an admin console for your Salesforce. So here you could see, right, this is the URL. Okay, so now open your Zogo mailbox actually. Open your Zogo mailbox. Okay, so in the Zogo mailbox, right, it will send a link to set your password actually. I mean, confirm your account and then set our password so that you can able to log in to the your Salesforce application. So here you could see, right, it has been created a Salesforce application. Okay, so here I already logged in, I think so. Oh, I think not yet. Just give me a minute. Okay, I think it's a different. Oh, sorry for that. Okay, not this one. Okay, right. Mail.in. Okay, give the password to log in. Terminator. Okay, so here you could see, right? Okay, there is a notification. Just give me a minute. I think I didn't get my Salesforce yet. Okay. Okay, I think it's in spam. Okay. Okay, let's wait for verification actually. Okay, yeah. Now I got the mail from the Zogo. Sorry, Salesforce. So here you could see, right? This is my Salesforce login URL actually. Okay, so this is my domain. So I can able to log into the Salesforce actually by using my account. So this is my username and then login. Okay. So now I will copy this information and paste it in the notepad. Okay. So now what we need to do, I need to verify the account. Okay, right click, open in a link in a new tab. Okay. Now here I have to set the password. Okay, I have to set the password. Okay, so give the password here. Okay, give something. Okay, change password. Okay, okay. So now I logged into my admin console. So here this is my Salesforce actually. Okay, so if I go to the settings here, so here you could see, right, setup. Click on the setup here. Okay, click on the setup. So once you click on the setup, so if you scroll down in the left hand side, okay, so that is known as the company settings actually. Okay, so if you scroll down to the company settings, there is a setting known as my domain. Okay, so that is a settings known as my domain. Click on the my domain setting. Okay, so here if you see, there is a domain URL is there, right? So this is my application URL. This is my application and this is my application URL. Okay, so you can save this application URL. Okay, okay, it's already there. This is the one actually. Okay, so now what is the authentication here? The authentication service is a standard one. Okay, so that means if I try to, access this URL, right? If I try to access this URL, maybe like a Mozilla Firefox browser, so it will be asking my normal authentication actually. Okay, so here if you hit this URL, it will be asking to type the username and password. This is a normal authentication. This is not our ping authentication. So here we are going to change this normal authentication to the ping authentication. Okay. So now what is the, what we are going to do it actually. Okay. So now go to the ping Federate. Okay. Go to the ping Federate. So as I already mentioned, right, in ping Federate, the identity provider metadata will be similar for all the configurations, right? So now we need to export the metadata from the identity provider. Okay, we need to export the metadata from the identity provider. Okay, so go to the system here, go to the system. Okay, and then so here server. Okay, sorry. Here protocol metadata is there, right? Click on the protocol metadata. Okay, so now here we are going to export the identity provider metadata. That means ping Federate metadata. Okay, so metadata export. Okay, so I am the identity provider. So ping Federate is acting as the identity provider, right? Okay, click on next. So use a connection. So here we are going to use some kind of a connection to export the metadata. Okay, so choose any connection. Choose any connection from the drop down menu. Choose any connection from the drop down menu. Click on next. Choose the signing certificate. Choose the signing certificate. Okay, so we choose the connection, any connection. Choose the signing certificate. Click on next. So export the metadata. Export the metadata. So now here, right click, edit with Notepad++. So here this is our ping federate metadata. So here you could see, right, the entity ID which I have configured. So this is the entity ID which we have configured while installing the ping federate, ping-test, right? So now here, if you see, this is the login URL. This is the login URL. So after, after hitting the application URL, it will be redirecting to this URL only. Okay. So now we got the metadata. Okay. So now what we need to do, so here we are going to configure the single sign-on. We are going to configure the single sign-on. Okay, so here if you scroll down to the security, okay, if you scroll down to the security, so not the security, identity. Okay, so if you scroll down to the identity, there is the option known as single sign-on settings. So here there is an option known as single sign-on settings. Okay, so click on the single sign-on settings. Okay. So here you could see, right, there is no single sign-on settings has been configured. Here you could see, right, no SAML settings has been configured. So here we are going to create a new one, new from the metadata file. So as I already mentioned, right, we can able to do three type of metadata. One is without the metadata, one is with the metadata as a file, one is with the metadata as a URL. So we are having a file, right? Okay, so click on new from the metadata file. Click on the new from the metadata file. Okay, so it will get load. So once it is done, so here it is asking to choose the file, right? Choose the metadata file which you have downloaded from the ping federate. Okay, so I think it's in downloads. Okay, so this is the metadata file. Okay, I have chosen this metadata, create it. Once you chosen, create it. Okay, so it is getting saved. So here you could see, right, it has been saved actually. Okay, so now what we need to do, we here, as of now we didn't enable the single logout, right? So here if you want to enable the single logout, we need to enable it from the application side actually. Okay, so then only we can able to do it from the ping side also. So here you could see, right, single logout enabled. Choose that one, choose that, enable this option, single logout enabled. So it will ask for a single logout URL. So as of now in our metadata there is no single logout URL enabled actually, because we need to enable the single logout in our ping federate also. Okay, so then only it will create a, it will give the single logout URL. So as of now what we can do, we will give some dummy URL here. We will give some dummy URL here for the single logout like this actually. Okay, so like this we will give some kind of a dummy URL. Okay, now so here we are it will automatically popping out actually. Okay, so when I uploaded the metadata file, right, so all the configuration it will be automatically done. Okay, so now click on save it. Now click on save it. Okay, so now click on save it. Okay, so now SAML has been configured in our, that means our ping federate settings has been configured in the application side. So this is purely based on the application side configuration actually. Okay, so this one normally there will be separate team who will handle this kind of a configuration, but I'm showing you so what will be the configuration in the application side also. Okay, so now here I have configured the single sign-on settings. That means our ping federate identity provider metadata into the application side. Okay, so now we need to configure it in the ping federate side also, right? So we will be configuring that one. Download the metadata. So here one we need metadata to configure it in the ping federate side, right? Okay, so download metadata. Okay, so one metadata has been downloaded, right? Okay, so now what we need to do, we need to go back to the ping federate here and then create a SAML connection. Okay, so create a SAML connection, SP connection. We will be doing the same thing actually, same thing again and again actually. Okay, create connection. Do not use a template. Click on next. Browser SSO profiles, SAML 2.0. Click on next. Browser SSO. Click on next. So here it is asking you to choose the metadata, right? So we have downloaded the metadata file, right? So we will, as of till now we have seen only choosing the metadata as none actually, like manually doing everything. Okay, now we will be doing the uploading the metadata as a file. Okay, choose the file and then choose the file which we have downloaded from the Salesforce. So this is the metadata which I have downloaded from the Salesforce. Click on open. Okay, so now click on next. So here it will be asking automatically. So the entity ID will automatically come up. Okay, click on next. So here you could see, right, the partner's entity ID has been automatically came up. I mean, it will automatically take it from the ping Federate. I mean, that is the metadata file, and then it will automatically configure here in our ping Federate. Okay, click on next. So here we don't need to enable this external properties. We don't need that. Okay, click on next. Now we need to configure the browser SSO. Okay, configure the browser SSO. We are going to enable the IDP initiated SSO, SP initiated SSO, IDP initiated SLO, SP initiated SLO. So all the four options. So till now we have enabled these two only because we don't have the application side, right? Application end side configuration. So that is why we didn't yet configure the SLO. So now we have the application side configuration. So we have enabled the single logout. Okay. So enable this option, click on next. Okay. So now, as I already mentioned, this will be the same configuration. Click on next. So now we need to create a SAML configuration, that is a SAML response. Okay. So Salesforce, so here in our SAML, right? So here in our SAML settings, so what we have given SAML identity type as a username. Okay. And then identity location as subject. So they are asking SAML subject here in the Salesforce, right? The username is email address actually. Okay, so the Salesforce username is not the SAM account name or UID actually. Okay, so it is a Salesforce email address actually. Okay, so it will have the email address. So what we need to do, we need to configure the SAML subject. That means as a mail address, not as a UID. Okay, so we will be configuring the mail address. Configure accession creation, the standard. Click on next. So SAML subject only, that is fine actually. We don't require to send any other attributes in the SAML response. Okay, click on next. Map a new adapter instance. So we need to do the same steps actually. HTML adapter is fine. Click on next. Retrieve the additional attributes because we are going to send the mail address in the SAML subject. Okay, click on next. Add attribute source. So this one will again come back. The same step will be repeating actually. Okay, the same step will be repetitive. Okay. Choose the data store which you have configured. Click on next. So here base DN. Okay, base DN is equal to DC equal to example comma DC equal to com. So this is a base DN, and what attribute we are going to get it? Mail, right? We are going to get the mail attribute. Okay, choose the mail attribute. Click on next. Okay, so now here the authentication will be UID is equal to dollar username. UID is equal to dollar username. Okay, so they are asking mail address to be sent in the SAML subject. Okay, click on next. Click on done. Okay, so this one is done. Now the next step is that mapping that attribute. So here SAML subject, they are asking mail address, right? Okay, source as LDAP, and then choose the, okay, I didn't add that one. Okay, let me go back this to here. Okay, LDAP direct. Oh yeah, I didn't click on the add attribute here. Okay, so now I have added this attribute. Click on next. Done. Okay, click on next. So here choose the mail address. Okay, SAML subject, we are mapping the mail value. Okay, click on next. So issuance criteria we can ignore it. Click on next. Okay, so here click on done. Okay, so as of now for this Salesforce connection, right, we will map only one adapter. So that is fine actually. Okay, we will map only one adapter. Okay, click on next here. Okay, so now this is a summary for the browser SSO. Click on done. Okay, so now click on next. The protocol settings. The protocol settings, that means the signing, mapping the signing certificate, the ACS URL. Okay, so everything will be there. Okay, so now click on protocol settings. Okay, so now here we have uploaded the metadata, right? So it's automatically uploaded. I mean this ACS URL will be automatically populated here. Okay, so click on next. So here, as I already mentioned, right, the logout URL also has been automatically popped out because we have uploaded the metadata file. Click on next. So we don't need to change anything. Okay, so here choose the post and then the redirect. Okay, click on next. Okay, so here we don't need to choose the first option. We will be signing the always sign accession. Click on next. Okay, encryption policy will be none. Click on next. So this is the summary. Okay, click on done. Okay, so now a SAML accession lifetime has been created, accession has been created, and then protocol settings has also been done. Click on next. So this is a summary page of browser SSO. Click on done. So here next we need to configure the signing certificate. Okay, so here you can ask one question actually. Okay, so there are two certificates it is asking actually. Why means, So we have enabled the single logout, right? So for single logout, if we enable the single logout, right? So the ping Federate will ask for some kind of a so it will ask for some kind of a certificate actually. Okay, so it will ask for some kind of certificate to do the encryption and decryption at the logout value. So that is why it is asking another certificate. So we need to use the application side certificate actually. So here in the application side there is one certificate here, you could see, right? Request signing certificate. They have created one self sign certificate, right? So that certificate, it will be in the metadata file. So if we upload the metadata, it will automatically get that certificate actually. Okay, click on configure credential. So our signing certificate, we need to choose it. Okay, choose our signing certificate, click on next. Click on next. So here this certificate will be automatically popped up from the metadata file. Okay, so this is a certificate for the single logout. Okay, so this is for single sign on, this is for single logout. Okay, click on that. Okay, so both the certificates have been configured, click on next. Okay, so this is the activation, click on done. Sorry, save it. Okay, now we have configured the Salesforce application also. We have configured the Salesforce application also. Okay, so now what we need to do, we need to do some cosmetic change here, because we have given one dummy logout URL right here in our identity provider single logout URL. Okay, so we need to get it from our metadata. Okay, go to the system again. Okay, protocol metadata export. I am the identity provider, click on next. User connection, click on next. Choose the Salesforce connection. Okay, so this is a Salesforce, click on next. Choose the signing certificate, click on next. Okay, export the Salesforce metadata. Now showing folder, open with the notepad++. Okay, so we will do this one manually. Okay, so here this is the SLO URL. Okay, so this is the SLO URL. Okay, so just copy this URL. Okay, and then go back to the Salesforce. Okay, edit it, go back to the Salesforce, edit it. Okay, and then paste the logout URL here. Okay, paste the logout URL here. Okay, and then save it. Okay, and then save it. Now single sign-on, single sign-on has been configured in the application side as well as the our ping Federate side also. So both sides we have configured it. Okay, so both sides it has been done, right? So now we need to do some more changes in the application side actually. Okay, why? Because we are doing the authentication in the ping Federate side, right? But after authentication, the application should have to do the authorization, right? Should have to accept that username, should be able to create a profile. So we need to have a profile in the back end of the application side, right? So then only it will do the authorization. In ping Federate, we are doing only the authentication, right? We are not doing the authorization, right? So in order to do the authorization, okay, we need to have a profile. We need to have a profile in the application side. Okay, so now what we need to do, we are going to create a profile only. Okay, we are not going to create a password or anything. Actually, we are going to create a profile only. Okay, so here go to the users actually. Okay, so click on the users here. Okay, click on the users here. Okay, I think we are already having one user right here. Okay, so we are having one user here. Okay, I think we can so here click on edit here. Okay, click on edit here. So we will change the username of this user to the mail address of my user actually. Okay, so I'm just changing the username to the email address itself actually. Okay, I'm just going to change the username to the mail address and save it. Okay, so now it has been done. Okay, so my username here in this Salesforce here, this is the profile. So here what I'm going to do. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to use this password actually. Okay, I'm not going to use this password. I'm going to use my ping Federate password, that is a LDAP password, to log in into the Salesforce. Okay, so now here one more setting we need to go and change it here. Okay, so here go to the here go back to the my domain. Okay, go back to the my domain. So here if you scroll down we need to enable the ping Federate here. Okay, edit, we need to enable the SAML authentication here in this configuration. Click on edit. So as of now the authentication for this one is giving us a standard only, right? Okay, I think it's still not yet enabled. Okay, let me go back to the single sign-on settings. So here, oh, okay, I didn't enable. I didn't enable this SAML actually. Edit. Okay, enable this SAML enabled option. Enable this SAML enabled option and save it. Okay, so now I have enabled this SAML because I have given the SAML configuration, but I forgot to enable the SAML. Okay, now I have enabled the SAML configuration. Now go back to the my domain. Go back to the my domain. So here, if you scroll down, there is a authentication is there, right? Authentication service as a normal login form. Okay, edit this one. So here there is a ping-test option has been enabled, right? So this is known as the single sign-on actually. This is known as the single sign-on. Okay, and save it. Okay, now I have saved the ping authentication also. That means a SAML configuration and authentication also. Now what I need to do, I'm going to access this URL. I'm going to access this Salesforce. Okay, so till now we have configured the SAML configuration, but we have used the ping federate URL only, right, to test that SAML. But here what we are going to do, we are going to access the application URL actually. Okay, access the application URL. Okay, so open in the incognito window, hit this URL. Okay, so here you could see, right, there is in previously it has given only the login form. So here we have enabled the SAML authentication, right? So here you could see, right, it has been asking for a ping-test. Okay, so click on this button. Click on this button. So it will be redirecting to the login page of my ping federate. So it has been redirecting to the ping federate, right? Here you could see, right, as I already mentioned, this is a single sign-on URL, right? So now type the username 546123 and then type the username and password. Okay, hit it. So authentication is happening. So here you could see, right, it has been redirecting me to the login page of the Salesforce. That means application of the Salesforce. So here I can able to, so here you could see, right, authentication has been successful. Okay, so till now we have configured a Salesforce configuration, and then I try to access the direct Salesforce login. I'm not using any ping or ping URL. Actually, I'm accessing directly the application URL and clicking on the single sign-on URL, and then it has been redirecting to my ping page. After typing my username and password, it has been redirecting to the ACS URL. That means that login page. After login to the application. Now, shall we try to log in with the ping federate URL? So go back to the ping federate. So if you go to the applications, okay, if you click on the Salesforce, right? If you click on the Salesforce, so here there is one application URL in the as we already know, right? So this is the identity provider initiated SSO URL. Okay, copy this URL and try in any other browser actually. Okay, hit it. So it will be directly redirecting to my ping federate page actually. Okay, so directly log into my ping federate page. Okay, so now here I will be providing my username and password. Okay, so previously when we try to hit the application URL, it will be redirecting to the application login page. So from the application login page, it will be redirecting to the ping page. Okay, so if you try to access the access the ping authentication, ping federate identity provider initiated SSO URL, right? So it will be directly redirecting to the ping login page. So this is where the SP initiated SSO and then IDP initiated SSO workflow will get different. Okay, so if you try to access the SP initiated URL, right, that is the application URL, means the SAML request will be created in the application side, that is a Salesforce side. Okay, so that is why it has been redirecting from the Salesforce login page to the ping login page. So here in the IDP initiated SSO URL, if you try to hit it, the SAML request will be created in the IDP itself. SAML request after authentication, SAML response, both the things has been will be created in the ping federate side itself, not in the application side. Okay, so here I'm just clicking on sign on. So it has been authenticating and then redirecting me to the application page. You could see, right, it has been redirecting to the application page. Okay, so this is how you can able to enable the Salesforce authentication or Salesforce login actually. Okay, so till now any doubt, guys?
So like this Salesforce is a CRM application, right? So in the client side, like the users will be using these, or somebody will configure these for the users.
Yes, yes, yes. So they will be, I mean, there will be separate team will be there who will be doing this SAML configuration in the application side, as well as the user profiles we are creating, right? So the same team who will be doing, I mean, who will be doing the SAML configuration, right? They will also do the, I mean, creating the profiles in the backend. Sometimes, right, the Salesforce or any other application, they will be using some automation tool actually. So to create a profiles in the, I mean, they won't be creating a, I mean, password actually. So they will be creating a profiles actually. That's all without the password. Okay, so the authentication will be done in the ping Federate side. I mean that YLDA which you have configured in ping Federate, right? So the authentication will happen in the ping Federate. Okay. So I'm just, I mean, this one, right? You should not involve yourself actually. Okay, as a ping Federate team, I mean, if you are implementing a ping Federate, right, you should not involve in the application side configuration actually. Okay, I mean, the application team should have to take care of this. Okay, but I'm just telling you, like I'm just showing you. So this is, I mean, you can able to have a more knowledge. Okay, so this is how the application team will configure the SAML configuration actually. Okay, and then the profile and information and everything. So this is how they are creating from the application side. Okay, so I mean, not only, I mean, if you know only the ping rate, that is enough actually. But I mean, for extra knowledge purposes only, I'm just showing you in the application side also. So this is how that.
So
Mhm.
okay, so
Go ahead.
from the ping Federate side, we as a ping Federate administrator, so we need to
Mhm.
do the configurations based on whatever the SAML.
Metadata you will be getting. Yes, exactly. So
Okay,
everything purely based on the application team requirement only. Okay, so that is how, I mean, if you are, okay, I'm giving one more example. So here we have configured the Salesforce, right? So I mean, this is a training purpose, so I am directly going and configuring everything, right? So if it is, I mean, if it is you are going to do it in your organization or something, the Salesforce, same Salesforce application means, so there will be one team who will be managing the Salesforce. Okay, so at first you will be getting a one call actually. So you have to set up a call with a Salesforce application. I mean, not only a Salesforce, all the applications actually. Okay, so set up an introduction meeting. Okay, so just get a more information, what is the application, and what is the user base of the application, and what is the application is doing. So after that, you have to ask question whether you are going for a SAML configuration or OAuth configuration. So the application team will say, hey, this is a Salesforce application only, so we will go with the SAML authentication only. So I mean, once it is a SAML is confirmed, okay, you have to ask them. Okay, so if it is SAML, okay, so you have confirmed the SAML. Okay, hey, please give your metadata. We will configure that metadata from our side. Okay, and then we will send back the metadata to you, or else like vice versa. Okay, so you can share your metadata to them, so they will be configure it and they will send the metadata back to you, or else they will share the metadata to you, you will configure it at first and then share the metadata to them. So normally what will be, I mean, in 95% of the cases they will be sharing the metadata first actually. Okay, so they will share their metadata from the application side, and then you will be doing the configuration and share the metadata, share your metadata back to the application side. Okay, and then after metadata file you have to ask, oh, what are the attributes you need have to send in the, you need, I mean, you need us to send in the SAML subject first of all. Okay, so they will be asking only like mail address or the username UID. Okay, so they will be having a two option. Either they will ask for mail address, or if it is a Salesforce they will be asking the mail address. If it is ServiceNow or any other application, they will be asking the username, that is a UID. Okay, so and then you have to ask, apart from the SAML subject, you need any other attributes to be sent in the SAML response. So like we have did in the first configuration, right? Like we will be sending the first name, last name, mail address, UID in the other attributes, right? So they will be, sometimes they will ask, okay, hey, please send the first name, last name, that's all. Or else just only SAML subject is enough from your side, so that is fine for us. Like that they will be saying. Or else, hey, please send first name, last name, mail address, and UID, all the four attributes they will be asking. So that is purely based on the application perspective only. Okay, so you are not going to do, I mean, you are not going to decide anything. So you can suggest whether, I mean, we can send these attributes. Okay, and then you can get it from the SAML response. Okay, and then you can say, I mean, and then application team will also ask if they, I mean, if they want single logout also, they will be asking you to enable the single logout, or else if they don't want, they won't say they want the single logout. Single logout, it's not that much mandatory actually. Okay, but I will show you this one. So we have enabled a single logout here, right? In our ping federate, in our configuration, we have enabled the single logout, right? So what we can do, we will do one more authentication. So here, what is a single logout? I am going to show you. Okay, so here I already logged into the application, right? So I'm going to access the same application URL again. Okay, where is this? So here I'm going to access the same application URL in the same incognito window. Okay. So here it might automatically log into the application here. So here I have two sessions for a same application, right? I have two sessions for a same application. So listen, just carefully. So here I'm just signing out from this page. Okay, I'm signing out, clicking on the logout. Okay. So here I am clicking on the logout. So it has been logged out. Okay, it has been logged out. So here I am clicking on here. I'm not doing anything here. Okay, so like okay, maybe I will click on something. So here it has been automatically logging me out. So this is known as the single logout. Okay, so I mean I have clicked on something in the, I mean if I am going to do something in that page, means because I already logged out from this I mean another tab. Okay, so because this is using the single logout, right? So if another tab using the same session, means it is again the session is getting expired. Okay, it is automatically logging me out because I have enabled the single logout. Okay, if I didn't enable the single logout, right, even though if you log out here, it won't log out from the next tab also. Okay, so this is the feature of the single logout in the ping federate actually. Okay, so I mean any doubt guys, this configuration, the single sign-on, single logout, I mean this Salesforce application configuration and everything. I know, I mean, I know this is, I mean, this is not that much difficult configuration actually. I mean, with perspective of the ping federate, I mean, no, I mean, I'm not saying in the ping federate side, I'm saying in the application side actually. Okay, so any doubts in the application configuration actually? So this is the most important step actually you will be doing. Okay, so any doubts? So if you have any questions, you can let me know itself actually. Hello.
So what happens after we do the application side configuration, right? So now the so what's the objective of doing application side configuration? That means that our backend and like it's being connected now. That's what it is.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So here, I mean, I'm not accessing this URL actually. I'm accessing the application side URL. So here, I'm accessing this URL. You could see, right? I'm accessing the application URL. So, I mean, if you want to access, because the users, right? Users will have the application URL only, right? For example, I mean, if you try to have a authentication, I mean, let me try an incognito window. Like, let me show you one example actually. So if I'm trying Zoom meeting application, right? So here I can able to log into the Zoom meeting, right? So here there is a okay, just give me a minute. Where is the sign in button? Okay, so here sign in button is I mean there is a sign in option is here, right? So if I click on this Google authentication, means okay, the request is automatically, I mean it will throw my Google login page. So here it is throwing my Google authentication page, right? So this is the accounts.google.com, means it is thrown by the google.com, right? That is a Google, it's managed by Google actually, not the Zoom meeting, right? So how it is when I click on that URL, how it is automatically redirecting to this page actually, okay? So that is because of the configuration has been done in the application side. So this one, the Zoom meeting, it has been configured as a OAuth configuration, okay? The Zoom meeting login with the Google account, right? So this one has been configured as a OAuth. Okay, so it is using the OAuth configuration. Here you could see, right, the in the URL, so you can able to see it. So this Zoom meeting with the Google account login has been configured with the OAuth, not the SAML. Okay, so similarly, if I try to hit this URL, right, it has been redirecting me to the ping login page, right? How it is redirecting? Because of the configuration has been done by the application side actually. Okay, the metadata which we have uploaded in the Salesforce, and then we have enabled the SAML authentication, right? Authentication service as a ping-test. So we have enabled the SAML, right? So this is because of that SAML we have enabled in the application side. Okay, without enabling this one, right, it won't be redirecting redirecting to our login page itself actually. Okay, so if you want to redirecting to the ping authentication, right, so basically we are enabling as a single sign-on, right? So that is why we are enabling this Salesforce with the ping federate. Okay, so ping federate, what is the use case of the ping federate? Enabling the federated single sign-on, right? So that is the use case of the ping federate, right? And then enabling the single logout also. So yeah, for that purposes only we are enabling the ping in the Salesforce. How come we are enabling the ping actually? Based on the metadata file which you have uploaded from the which you have got from the ping federate and uploaded in the Salesforce, and then downloading the Salesforce metadata from the Salesforce and then uploading the metadata into the ping federate. So based on the configuration done in both the sites, so it has been working properly. Okay, so if there is any configuration missed at any of the both the sites, means it will give the authentication won't happen properly. Okay, so it will throw some kind of a error actually. Okay, so for an instance, if I change something in the URL, or if I change something in the like mail address, right, the same subject. So if I send some other attributes, means it won't happen. Authentication will happen. Okay, authentication will happen, but authorization won't get happened actually. So it will throw an error. Okay, so that kind of unnecessary issues will come. So if both the configuration needs to be on the same proper page actually, then only the authentication and everything will be working seamlessly, or else any unnecessary issues will come actually. Okay, yeah. So any doubts now, Manish? Is it okay?
Uh,
Clear?
yeah, that's okay. So, like they are using the OAuth, and with ping federate, we use SAML only, right? Or we can configure to use.
Yes, that is based on the application perspective. These Salesforce and Service now, these are all the simple applications actually. Okay, Zoom meeting, it's also a simple application, but Zoom meeting they will be having some kind of APIs and everything actually. So that is why they are preferring for what? Even we know, right, that PUBG
Mhm.
Mobile in our like Android or iOS, right? We are installing. So that PUBG Mobile is also using the OAuth configuration only. The LinkedIn, that will
Mhm.
use the SAML configuration, and what other Zoom meeting will use WebEx, right? Cisco WebEx, that will also use the SAML only. We can also use OAuth for WebEx also, but 95% they will go prefer for a SAML only, that WebEx application. Even if you configure with ADFS or ping, right, they will be going with a like SAML. So if they are going with any other tool, like any other single sign-on tool, right, they will be going with OAuth. So that is purely based on the application perspective. Whatever the code they are writing, right, in the application side. So if it is SAML, right, it will be simple to configure, as you see, right, in the Salesforce connection. So it is easy to configure SAML. Okay, but OAuth is not easy to configure in the application side. It will be easy in the ping federate side. Okay, but application team, right, they won't. Sometimes they won't know. They don't know how to configure it in the application side. You have to you can help actually. You can provide some kind of insights or some kind of a suggestion to them, but you don't. My recommendation is that don't involve that much in the application side configurations actually, because if there is any issues they are faced, means they will be automatically telling you actually you are the one who have helped in configuring this application in the configuring the single sign-on in the application side, right? They will be like they will hand over everything to you actually, so they won't do anything. So basically, whatever your scope of work will be the ping federate. That's all. Okay, not in the application side. Okay.
With ping federate, we can also enable the OAuth
Yes,
configuration
yes, sir. We
as
can
well.
also enable the OAuth. We will be doing. First of all, we are going with the SAML actually. We will be doing the OAuth. How to configure the OAuth in. Even in application side also, I will tell you how to configure it actually. Okay, but
So
it
this
won't be similar like it won't be similar like SAML. Actually, it will be totally a different one OAuth when we are going to do that. But I will tell you actually. There are three tools we can able to enable this OAuth actually in ping federate.
and then I will tell you how to test that OAuth actually. Okay.
So just curious, like what is like just the difference between SAML and OAuth? So both
Okay. So
are for single
basically,
sign-on, right? Both are
yes,
used for
exactly.
single.
Exactly. So here SAML is a XML format actually. Okay. So here you could see right the SAML response and everything has been showing in the XML format. So here the metadata file, everything in an
Mm-hmm.
XML format, right? So this SAML is basically an XML format. Okay. But if you take a OAuth, right, it's a JSON format actually. Okay. So it will be in a
Oh, okay.
JSON format. Okay, why? Because they are going with the JSON means, I mean, in some cases, right, SAML won't be useful actually. Okay, in some kind of applications, if you take, if you take application which is using the APIs, right? I mean, API means like in a Facebook Android application or a PUBG mobile or like even if you take a Zoom meeting mobile application, right, they will be using lot of APIs actually. Okay, so in that cases, right, SAML won't be useful actually. You can't able to use the SAML in that case. Okay, because you can't able to create a SAML response actually. SAML response, if you want to create a SAML response, it should be like a straightforward configuration. Okay, so if there is a API call involving any kind of authentication purposes means you need to go with the OAuth, because in OAuth only we will be using the API flows actually. Okay, we will be using the API calls. I will tell you what are the 3 API calls we will be using actually. In OAuth, I will tell you what are the API calls we will be, because okay, so that is why the OAuth is using some of the applications actually. I mean, if you take 100%, I mean, if you take 100 applications, right, 50 applications will be going for a SAML, 50 application will be going for a OAuth. And then the disadvantages of OAuth, right, it can't able to use it as a, I mean, independently like a SAML. Okay, because OAuth is an authorization protocol actually. We can't able to use it for authentication purposes. Only OAuth, it can be used only for authorization, not for authentication. So if you want to enable authentication, right, there will be one more protocol you need to use it. That is known as the OpenID Connect actually. Okay, so that will be like a top layer of a OAuth. Okay, I mean, normally in Ping Federate, right, we can enable the OAuth, but you can't able to do the authorization in Ping Federate actually. Okay, in Ping Federate is basically I mean, authentication mechanism only, not as a authorization mechanism. It's just enabling the authentication. Authorization, they are having a one more tool actually, that is known as the ping access. So in ping access only that OAuth will be useful actually. But in Ping Federate it's also is useful for authentication, but we can't able to use it as a independently. We will be using one more protocol known as the OpenID protocol that will be taking care of the authentication process. Okay. Yeah. So any other doubts? I mean, the SAML process, any doubts till now? So tomorrow we will be going for a multi-factor authentication. I mean, not tomorrow we are going to do for a multi-factor authentication. We will be seeing one more topic and then we will start with the MFA actually. Okay. So till now, any doubts till now?
No, Karthik. Yeah, I just had one like out of the box question. Like I was trying to log into the Zoho mail and it keep on sending the OTP to the same email. So I
Oh,
don't know.
you
Yeah,
can click on remind me later like that action, that option.
uh, I'm not seeing anything. So I don't know. Uh, it's I just put the email and as soon as I put the email, it will just start sending the OTP. It doesn't have any options to.
No, there will be like, I mean, if you log into the Zogo, right? Zogo mail. So if you click on the login here, it will ask you to type the email address. Okay. So here, if you click on sign in, right? This is the URL which you are trying, right? So here, this is the login page you will be getting, right? Manish? Hello? Hello?
Yes,
Manish, can you
yes,
able to hear me?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
on the
yes.
same page. Yeah,
Okay. So here you have to type your Zogo mail address actually.
yeah.
Okay, so here you will be typing the Zogo mail, okay, and then click on next. So it will ask you to type the password. So is it asking you to type the password, right?
No, it's directly sending me to the OTP thing. It's sending the OTP
Did you save the password or something like that in this site? Maybe you can try the incognito window of a Chrome
Yeah,
browser.
I'm on the. Let me share my screen
Oh
once.
yeah, you can. Okay, let me make you as a presenter. You can share your screen and then we can see it. Yeah, you can share your screen now.
Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, I'll be able to see.
Yes, yes. Now you can type your
I think
mail
maybe it's
address.
because it's saved or okay. So this is my email. So I click next.
Okay.
It's automatically sending that. Maybe because if it is saved
Oh,
or
okay. I
and
don't
it
know why
keeps
it
on,
is going.
even I'm
Okay.
in a incognito mode. Maybe I did couple of
Okay.
times
This
already.
is kind of a weird actually. Okay.
Yeah,
Click on
it
forgot password. Okay.
is it my GRTH?
Okay.
Yeah, it will be sent to the OTP will be sent to the same email. So
Okay. I don't know what is. I mean, it's kind of a
why
weird
is sending
actually.
to the same email? I mean, I tried the other email and it keep on sending
Okay.
to the OTP there. So
View all options. Click on view all options. It's kind of a weird actually.
okay, yeah, I think I can put my recovery.
Okay.
Okay, maybe if that works, let me check. Yeah, it's weird. It's keep on giving me the single sign on all the time
Okay.
for the OTP.
And that is fine. You can create multiple accounts in Zogo Mail actually. It's free.
Let's do all this.
Yeah, web and mobile app session terminate all API tokens also. Continue. Now it will ask for okay.
Okay, maybe
Yes.
some
Okay.
option was enabled like signing using OTP.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe like that.
Okay,
Okay. Here, remind me later. Click on in the drop down in the last. Okay, sorry. In the bottom right corner. Okay. Now
okay.
it is good.
Now,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure, sure. No problem. So I think I mean like you can also like do this Salesforce configuration in your Ping Federate lab actually. Okay. Oh, okay. So I mean like guys you can also do the same configuration in your Ping Federate lab actually whatever we seen today, right? The Salesforce configuration for a single sign-on as well as the single logout we have enabled it, right? So you can do the same thing, okay, in your lab, okay. So if you are having any doubts, it again in the next class, okay. So till now thank you so much guys for today's session, okay. So as of now we have configured we have finished the SAML actually, okay. So tomorrow there are some other I mean like I think Manish has came again. Okay, so Manish, I was talking about the, I mean, like a summary of today actually. Okay, so in the next class, okay, you just, I mean, you guys do the same thing whatever we discussed today, like the Salesforce configuration. Okay, single sign-on as well as a single logout. Okay, do this. If you are having any doubts, you can ask me in the next class. Okay. So in the, I mean, as of now, we have completed the SAML configurations actually. Okay, SP initiated SSO as well as the IDP initiated SSO. And then tomorrow, I mean, in the next class, we will be seeing the another component in Ping Federate, and then we will go with the MFA because MFA is the most important part in the Ping Federate actually. So that MFA migration, it's not that much difficult actually. It's a simple one. Okay, so we will be doing the MFA configuration in the next class, and then after that we will go with the other features are available. Like some of the features are available in Ping actually. So we will cover those features and then we will start with the OAuth actually. Okay.
So I mean, OAuth will take nearly 3 to 4 hours actually. Okay, itself will try to finish it off. Okay, so thank you so much guys for joining today. Okay, so hope you had a good session today. Okay, thank you so much. We'll see in the next class. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.